It's a bountiful day in this hollow earth. A beautiful day for a hybrid. Do they shift shape? Boy, I feel great. Won't you be my cousin? Welcome everybody throughout the multiverse to the most important meal of the day, y'all. Shrimp for breakfast! Oh, yeah. And you know what that means. We got that strong black cup of coffee on deck. And you know we got them dank homegrown greens, the breakfast of champions, the breakfast of Ghostshrimp. Since junior year in high school, y'all, and that's when we started to put it all together. Bam! Fuck the pharmaceuticals. I use Mother Nature's medicine. Right? Let's go! You! Plant intelligence. Don't fail me now. Popeye needs a spinach, baby. Because I am on the verge of exhaustion today, but we're here anyway. We're doing it. We had a crazy turn of events the last couple of days, and we're about to get into it, y'all. But first, you know we need that hitter. Woo! Really rallying today. Athena's not feeling well. Junie's not feeling well. They caught what Wolfie had last week. You know when the kids go back to school, everybody's getting sick, y'all. That's just how it goes. Woo! But on top of that, we had some wild family events happening over the week. And we had to take a little trip. You might have seen my video, stranded at Indian Head yesterday. The Indian Head Resort in Franconia Notch, right outside of Franconia Notch in New Hampshire. We had a little interrupted journey, and it brought us right to Betty and Barney Hill's doorstep, y'all. The New Hampshire State Historical Plaque of the Betty and Barney Hill incident in 1961, September 19th. That anniversary is coming up. We're going to be talking a lot about it. It was very serendipitous, a little spooky, exactly that we ended up at that state plaque when we didn't even expect to be traveling. But on Tuesday, Mama Shrimp, my mom Shrimp, my mom Ghost Shrimp Mama, Ghostshrimp Senior Mom, she let me know that my grandma had a heart attack, her second heart attack in 10 days. So we grabbed the kids from school, took a trip down to New Hampshire, about a 3-hour drive, 3-hour tour. By the time we got there, my grandma had stabilized, and we got to go in. We got to hang out with her a little bit, talk to her a little bit. It was really nice. She just turned 98, y'all. Shout out Grandma Ghostshrimp. She is really, truly where I get my crazy optimism from, and just my independent spirit and grit really comes from my grandma. I've really understood that the deeper I get in life. And the more I really reflect on where I came from and where I'm at, you know, my grandma has everything to do with that, and it's you know, she's just such an important person in our family. You know, we have a great family that really sticks together, and my grandma's been such a part of that, obviously, forever. So we jumped down and got to see her. Crashed at my mom's house with the siblings, had a nice, sibling hang. A lot to process for sure. We've been, my dad died a couple years ago. That was super intense. My grandpa died, my grandma's husband a couple years before that. So we've kind of been on this, this is where midlife gets weird, y'all. Your friends start to, disappear. Some of your friends are gone. Other friends are just, doing other things in life. You really don't get to see them anymore. And then bang, the older people that are in your life start to transcend as well. They start to go into the other realms, explore the other dimensions that we were talking about last time. And, my grandma's really starting that journey. It's pretty wild. She was like talking to, people that weren't in the room and stuff. And, she was incredibly, in both these heart events, she's been incredibly close to, transcending to the next realm, taking the next step on her journey, y'all. So yeah, I've been thinking about her a lot. Send your thoughts there, to Grandma Ghostshrimp. And wherever she's at, whatever she's going to be doing, we're always going to be connected. So the next day, Wednesday morning, we get up, we go see her again, and then we have some lunch with the Sibs, and then jump out, see my grandma again in the critical care unit at the hospital, and then we take off back home. And Franconia Notch is about halfway in between where we live and where my family lives in southern New Hampshire, in Seacoast, New Hampshire. And as we're approaching the notch, the car is slowly kind of acting funny. Like, it's these slight, like, deviations in acceleration that are happening. And I'm like, am I doing something weird with my foot? Like, am I doing that? And I was just thinking it, but there's no lights blinking on the dash or anything like that. Then Athena, a few minutes later, is like, are you doing something weird driving? And I'm like, what is that? And then as we are focusing on it, it starts to speed up. It starts to happen more frequently. And the closer we're getting to the notch, to Franconia Notch, to Betty and Barney Hill territory, the car is like, and I'm having to really stomp on the gas to get it to keep going at the highway speed. And the RPMs are like not steady up and down, but jumping all over the place. And I'm like, okay, something's happening with the car. And I've been in some cars that broke down before, and I'm like, okay, we need to hopefully get to the parking lot of the tram, the Cannon Mountain tram parking lot, which is a great place to stop if you're in car trouble rather than right in the middle of the highway. So we pull over, get there, call a tow truck, and we barely get in there. Like, as we're pulling in, it feels like the car is literally about to stop moving. I'm really stomping on the gas, and we're barely kind of navigating there. We get there, like very happy, when you're with your family. And of course, I filled the whole car with toys, with these giant Playmobil castles that we're bringing back from my parents' house. Got a whole ton of Adventure Time toys to share with y'all today as well, so we'll get to that. But we pull over. Takes a couple hours to get a tow because of where we are. It's 4:30, so all the places are closing. We get a tow truck through AAA. They're out and about elsewhere. They finally get to us 2 hours later. And then we're like, how are we going to get back? Where are we going to spend the night? And next week is the anniversary of the Betty and Barney Hill incident. And it happened in Franconia Notch. So it was on the top of my mind that I wanted to stay at Indian Head Resort for the anniversary. So I had already, looked at the rooms, and this was at the top of my mind, coincidentally. And I said, you know what? Indian Head's only 10 miles from here. I bet they will come pick us up with their shuttle. They have shuttle services. I bet they could come pick us up and we could spend the night there. Let's just do that rather than there's no Uber out there. I would have had to try to get some kind of friend or relative to come get us, but they would have been an hour and a half away either way. And it would have all just been absolutely mad. So we're like, all right, let's turn lemons into lemonade. We're stuck here rather than this grueling, drag this out even longer. Let's go to this resort. They got pools, they got jacuzzis, they got paddle boats, they got fishing, they got restaurant, they got everything. Let's go there. Bang, they got an observation tower. So we get there, and I've never stayed at Indian Head Resort before. I've always wanted to. And Betty and Barney Hill passed it on the night that they had their incident, and this state plaque of their incident is on the property. So I've been there before, never stayed there before. I'm probably going to misspeak a lot today because my brain is just totally cooked. Got bad night's sleep at my mom's house. The sleeping situation is less than ideal there. Got a okay night's sleep at Indian Head Resort, although it was very comfortable. It was very great. It was very grand. We had an amazing time there. So yeah, a little scatterbrained, fighting off the sickness, just emotionally exhausted from the car ride down. Cause we're going down and we're like, kids like, grandma might have passed when we got there. And they've already been to my grandpa's funeral. They've been to my dad's funeral. So, they're familiar with this and it's intense and it's processing and all that stuff. So, it's like, especially with your kids and all that, you're processing all that. And yeah, as we're breaking down, your kids are in the car filled with us. Like, oh my God, it's crazy. But we get to Indian Head, we have a great time. We eat a nice dinner there. We hit the pool, we hit the jacuzzi, we wake up, we do the same thing. And we're like, all right, now the rental car places are back open. Let's try to get the rental car because the rental car places all close at 5 and we couldn't get one as we were breaking down. So we called them up and none of them have cars. There's only one around in Littleton, New Hampshire, and they do not have cars. They go, you're 11th on the waiting list. Who knows how long that will take? Definitely days, weeks, months, depending on what that means. And so my sister could come get us the next day. But my colleague, my Adventure Time neighbor, Kent Osborne, came through and scooped us up. Yes, we can. Kent saved us yesterday. Scooped us up, brought us over to the dealership where our car had been towed to, and was able to bring us there, and they were able to give us a loaner car, so we were able to get out of it all. But it was a crazy situation. That kind of stuff can be very stressful when you're breaking down. You have kids in the car. Hasn't happened to us for a long time. Used to happen to us more when we would get older used cars. We have a 2018 Mitsubishi Outlander. We got it 1 year after it came out. So it's a pretty new car, although now it's getting a little bit older. It's got 110,000 miles on it. Little car dog for you. This is really the first time it's given us any trouble. So it kind of came out of the blue. It was really unexpected. And of course, when you're it's always when you're already extended, we're already oh my God, we're scrambling to go see my grandma. She might be passing when we get there. And, she's probably kind of still in the process of that. Hopefully not. She's tough as nails and she's dead set on making it to 100. So I would not be surprised if she didn't find a way to get there. But my mom worked for hospice and, all indications are that, she's in a series of events that might be her kind of, heading on to the next realms, like we said. And man, to make it 98, she's still living on her own cognizance. She lives in a really nice apartment that she has in a assisted living facility, but she lives all on her own and takes care of herself still for the most part with my mom's help. And 98, what a hell of a run. We should all be so lucky. So salute to Grandma Ghostshrimp. We love you so much, and no matter where you are, no matter where you're at, we're always going to be connected. And I will continue to live in her name because, man, she really put one of the things I've always thought about my whole entire life, and I remember through breaking my feet and all my struggles and everything, she's so optimistic. I've rarely ever, she would sometimes get a little bit stern, but I would say 99% of the time she is just super high morale, super positive, super optimistic. and just getting after it, and such a good example. And you know, my whole life, she always told me, she goes, you know, she's Roman Catholic. She's a traditional age. She goes, you know, God has a plan for you, you know, and when I was breaking my feet, she's like, God has a plan for you. God's looking out for you. You know, God has big things in store for you. And I really wasn't a person that ever felt that way about myself growing up, you know, maybe when I was, maybe before we moved, but after that, it really broke me in half. And, you know, all the stuff we've talked about with the, you know, being forced into therapy, forced on medication, forced in school, all these things that were really attacking who I was and what I wanted to be in life. My grandma was one of those voices that really was like, she always believed in me, and she the things she would say to me always went so deep. You know, people say things to you, yes. Everybody's always giving you advice when you're a kid, trying to tell you how to think, trying to tell you what to do. We do it to Wolfie all the time now. We're just talking about that and thinking about that. But man, she would just, the things she would say would resonate with me on such a deep level. And maybe that's because we share so much of the same spirit. You know, we were so close. I was actually born on my grandfather's birthday, Grandpa Ghostshrimp, so we've always been incredibly close with them, and I feel the same way about my grandpa too. But my grandma just has this extra strong flame burning inside of her that you know, I've really carried with me as well, and she's always really stoked that flame in me, and it's always been great. And even though she's never been to, you know, circumstances haven't allowed her to come to our property because of all the stuff they've been going through in the last decade with my grandpa and her, and being older and less mobile and stuff, and physical challenges. But she always admired, she always just really loved that me and Athena were, she was one of the only people that never reacted negatively to, you know, this quest to buy land, homestead, build our own house when we have nothing, no business doing that, all that stuff. You know, she really always like genuinely was like, I'm so proud of you for doing that, you know, and she was one of the only people that would really say that, you know. I can remember when my grandpa, you know, who's really more traditional, you know, he reacted to us, you know, changing our name to Bandit, and Wolfie being Wolf Bandit. You know, this was I can't remember after he was born or when we were saying that's what his name was going to be. And I remember him in the car, and he just looked at me. He said, "You can't saddle a kid with a name like that." And I just laughed at him. I said, "Grandpa, it's going to be great. He's going to be an absolute legend." And he absolutely is. Like, you wouldn't believe how people react to, number one, his name being Wolf. For some reason, there's not a lot of wolves out there, which is the coolest name ever, hands down. And then Wolf Bandit, when people find out his name is Bandit, they never forget it, number one. Like, people, when they meet him for the first time, will be like, you know, at school or something like that, or at camp, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, I saw your name on the list. Awesome!" Like, they're lighting up even when they see his name in writing, it makes people happy. And then when he shows up and he's the personality that he is, he's a high energy kid. He's a great kid. He's a total mischievous, creative. You know, he has that flame too. He's carrying that torch that my grandma passed to me and I passed to him, and he just has no quit in him, and he just will not be told no, will not be told what to do. And you know, it's amazing, and it's the perfect name for him. But my grandma, you know, never expressed anything like that to me. Was just, her attitude is, if it's making you happy and it's what you want to do, I'm there for it, you know. And it's such a cool thing, especially considering how long she's been alive and what the world was like, what reality was like when she was born. It's remarkable that she can have that point of view. You know, she's very open-minded, you know, for the age that she is at and how long she's been on this planet. So salute to Grandma Shrimp. And you know, all the thoughts are with her, you know. And since we were at my parents' house, we took the opportunity to start to bring some more toys back. tons of Playmobil. We have an enormous modified Playmobil castle that we have that you can like even sit in. It's so big when you set it up. And we have a couple other, we have like some satellite castles, like other littler castles. We have a dragon castle that's built into the side of a cliff. And so now half of it's in the loaner from the rental. And half of it, we also brought back this 72-gallon bow front fish tank that takes up half of the back. Like you can barely squeeze it in the back of the car, and it takes up half of the generous cargo space in there. It's like this thick and this wide. It's so massive, and that's still in the back of our car, completely filled with Playmobil Castle parts. So totally wacky, but we have half of it here, half of it there, and my dad, has obviously passed. He's in the other realms here. So I raided his stash of Adventure Time toys. We've got this giant box of Adventure Time toys here that he collected that we're going to check out. So we've got our sword here. He's got the sword in the package here. Daddy Shrimp was, he's an avid toy guy. After he passed, my mom said, I'm still getting toys that he ordered in the mail. In his day, it was the Marx play sets, the Alamo, the Davy Crockett stuff, the Cowboys and Indians, the all the different Cape Canaveral, right? The all these different great sets, dinosaur sets. And they would have tin lithograph buildings or plastic molded mountains and caves. And, we still had a lot of that as kids that we would play with. His Robin Hood. I remember he had like this Robin Hood figure that was just one of those, on the little base and the little like molded plastic figure that he had from his childhood. And he would keep it in this box and we could look at it, but we really couldn't play with it because it was so special to him. So toys have always had an amazing part in our lives and our family mythology. So he collected the Adventure Time toys, and I've since he passed, I've wanted to bring him back. The hat came from this stash. We got the sword in the package here. Let's see. I'll put the box down, and let's see. Now that's good. The box up. All right. So we've got that. We've got his version of the Happy Meal box with the different Happy Meal toys in the bags. We've got the Finn. We've got the BMO, the ones I have them on the desk behind me here. The Ice King in the bag, and the Jake in the bag. A very happy day, as the Ghostshrimp historians will know, I was fired from thankfully not from Adventure Time. I was fired from McDonald's when I was 16 for giving my homie Luke Dubois a free lunch. And I was very upset by it and banned for life from working at McDonald's. But my drawing of Mount Cragdor for Adventure Time ended up on the Happy Meal. So I won in the end there. We've got a bunch of these little double packs that he had. This little LSP and Jake. We've got Finn and Marceline here, 2-pack. We've got another Jake and Finn here. We've got another Marceline and Finn. We've got Jake and LSP Weapon Hands Jake. That's an awesome one. Mystery plush clip. Look at that. Blind box mystery plush clip here. We've got one that's open. We got a little Fiona little plush clip. That's so cute. Oh my God, look at that. Ginny's like, can I put that on my bag? But sometimes kids steal stuff off her bag at school, so we're not sending that one. This is another one of those Happy Meal toys. We got the little Finn, bendy Happy Meal guy. We got this awesome Jake. We never even had this one. This big Jake with the Jake punch hand. You can see the back of the package here with all the back of the package is always so clutch. You're looking at all the other ones you want. Of course, my drawings are right on the package. All these background landscapes are straight off my desk. So, to have my, pretty much everything that's ever made of Adventure Time has something I drew in it, on it, so that's pretty cool. This is an awesome one. Posable Fiona and Cake 2-pack. That's a super sick one. And there's some really good ones on here. We don't have this little posable fin with the slime princess. These are awesome. That LSP is sick. Would love to have that. Would love to have that Jake. Some more of these little ones. Jake 2-pack. Oh, Ice King and Finn 2-pack. That one's sick. Oh, doubles of that. We got a lot of doubles in here. We've got the single posable fin here. We've got a busted up version of this up in the cabins. It got like mossy and I don't even know what, the arm broke off. Oh man, so cool. We've got some magnets, some fridge magnets here. It's so cool that my dad collected all this. He was so proud of all this stuff. We got a couple of DVDs, a couple of the early DVDs. I think all the DVDs are at their house as well, but these were in this box in the attic. And of course, the Lego Ideas Lego Adventure Time set, which is just another absolute Hall of Fame moment in my life. My drawings, these are my actual drawings on the Lego box all through this packaging. I think is there more drawings inside? Nah, folded around a little bit. And then let's see what's on the, let's see if there's any. Yeah, there's the packaging again on the directions here. So freaking cool. Now that we have, the kids were always begging to build this set and I only had one and I wanted to save it. But now that we have two, we'll build one and we'll show you the build. Maybe we'll film the build of these Adventure Time Legos, y'all. Oh, shit! So there is a little toy extravaganza straight out my parents' attic, y'all. And we got a whole bunch of stuff. We got more stuff. Oh, and at I forgot to mention, at the gift shop at Indian Head Resort, it's all UFO'd out. That's where I got this Betty and Barney Hill mug with the historical state plaque on it. We got the Indian Head profile on there. It overlooks this. It's kind of like the Old Man in the Mountain, where there's like an awesome silhouette in the side of the mountain. And this one's so cool. And it's got the tree line coming back, like headdress or hair or whatever. And it's so freaking cool looking. And it's all tied in with the Betty and Barney Hill mythology, which we didn't get into today, but we're going to, y'all, because next week is Betty and Barney Hill week. Hopefully we will be able to hit 5 consecutive shrimp for breakfast. If Ghostshrimp smiles upon us. And at the gift shop, we also got these little squishy alien dudes. I got basketball alien. I got astronaut alien. Astronaut squishy. These are like the little bath toy almost. And businessman, men in black, government alien coming to tell you that if you talk about what you saw, it will be a fucking crime against the state, a federal offense, and you will be locked up for the rest of your life and anyone you told about it. So don't talk about what you saw, right? So we're going to get into it, y'all. Stay tuned. Share if you care, if you know somebody that's going to enjoy some shrimp for breakfast. And we're going to get on a nice little hype run and really warm up for these workshops. If you want to sign up for the Ghostshrimp Classic Workshop Round 15, hit me up. It starts in October, just a little over a month from now. And then there's another one in January. So we're going to have a rip-roaring good time. We're all going to level up. I always learn just as much as everybody else with every single round of the workshop. My creative IQ has gone up so much, breaking down pieces with everybody and getting to know artists all around the world and what makes them tick and how to help them take the next step really helps me evaluate those same things better for myself. So out there, sharing, connecting, and we are all connected, and that is the thing that, it's that idea of, easy to break any one of your individual fingers. Any one of your individual fingers alone is really not that powerful, but you make that fist, baby, and bang, all of a sudden you've got a very powerful tool here. And when you connect with other people, you weave that lattice, y'all. Bang! We're talking about some powerful, unbreakable, energetic, creative structures, y'all. So let's freaking go, y'all. Let's freaking go, y'all. A little shrimp for breakfast, y'all. Let's fucking go. Get their copy of The Lost Forest today. Everywhere books are sold, y'all.